Okay, so Auxbeam was nice enough to send out the new 8-gang Bluetooth RGB switch panel. This switch panel is going to replace all of my manual switches here. This whole system is what is in charge of this is what's controlling my electrical system. So I have a Manager 30 here that is charging from solar and the vehicle. I have a hot water heater also that I had to hook up with some relays, which I won't need to anymore with this. I have a water pump, and that won't need a switch anymore. I have amber and white lights here. I also have a set of lights for my awning over here. So this switch panel is going to make it so all of those switches are going to be in one little panel. So I'm going to make a new panel for here to cover the whole system, so it'll be very sleek and clean. And going to work on starting to get this installed. So very excited to be able to test one of these out. Wanted one for a while, and now I got one. So this box is basically the brains of the operation. If you don't know, most of you guys already have these, but these are solid state relays, and it allows you to hook up everything directly to the switch panel controller here. It has two 30 amps, two 20 amps, and a 10, 10, and a 5, and a 5. So these will be my lights, hot water heater. This will be output power. So I have an Anderson plug here, so that'll be output power there. And everything will be managed by the touch of these buttons. The other cool thing that this does is you can program one button to do multiple things. So you can have one button turn on the lights for multiple lights and do everything all in one. So I'm going to rip this whole panel out, get out the old stuff, work on getting the new stuff in. I wanted to show how complicated this is currently. So this is all of the wires set up. I got two relays there for the water heater. I got power cables. I got a giant Anderson plug that basically plugs into everything to make it easily disconnectable. And this is kind of what I'm working with, and hopefully it's simplified. Here's all the rat's nest of wires. Most of these are going to get cleaned up. We're going to reduce a handful of them and make them simpler. And then the back of this panel is going to get fully redesigned with basically just this on it, which will be pretty nice. Still have the cigarette lighter socket and the USBs, but other than that, it'll be all gone. Right now I'm just working on stripping all of this off so I can make a new template to mount all of this to. So I got most of the wires cleaned up back here, and I'm now working on cleaning them up, organizing them, and then seeing if I want to make this panel flush here or if I want to make it recessed like it was. Okay, got the new piece built. That's our blank slate for the Auxbeam switch panel. That's going to go there. The Manager 30 is going to go above. And then I got a 12 volt cigarette socket. They'll go there. And then I have a USB charger 3.0. And then I still have to fit the digital controller for the hot water heater, as well as the air temp. So got some mapping out to do. So this right here is the mess of wires that I just removed out of this whole panel. So I have my main hot wire, which is a 2 gauge, and that's coming from the lithium, and that is about a 5-foot run to right underneath this platform. Making some progress. I got the 2 gauge coming from the battery hooked up to the 60 amp breaker with the Auxbeam lighting. I also got the ground hooked up to the terminal block to get everything grounded. Got the panel mounted, got the positive and negative, and I'm starting to run some of the circuits. Got the switch panel up and running. I got Looks like 6 circuits on there. This one's the fridge, which is kind of cool. So you can see the fridge turn on and off. And then this was the whole system off. So that'll turn the fridge and everything off, which don't usually ever do. So it would be nice to have switches to adjust lights and hooking up these lights that are on my tailgate. It's a new day, making some more progress. I got the holes drilled out for the cigarette sockets and the USBs, as well as the temperature and heater controller. So all of those ports are now cut out. Now we're going to work on getting the fitting cut out for the water. Got a lot more wiring done, working on getting all the grounds and positives hooked up, and then time to wire this guy. So pretty stoked, everything's coming together. I put a new bigger relay, it's a 120 amp relay for my water heater, so I can upgrade it at a later time. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. Got most of the wires all hooked up. We are ready to start getting this thing installed and tested. Looks a lot better than the old panel, I think. Got mostly everything set up. I got everything tested. The temperature gauge is working. The heater's working. Everything is controlled by the panel. So got the heater turning on. Got the USB outlets and temperature gauge on a circuit. And then I have 4 lights on the bottom. And then this is the water pump here. So everything's set up, working great. Just installed the mount on the back of the Auxbeam, as well as the mount to the actual panel, and then I drilled a hole. Everything should be buttoned up, ready to install this for the full package.
Alright, so now I'm going to give you a live demo of what I did with this Auxbeam. So right now you can see I have, the fridge on, the power to the panel, and I'm going through all the buttons. So I have 2 buttons on each light. One is for amber, one is for white light. So the awning lights are hooked up, as well as the lights in the canopy. The cool part about this is you can set the whole thing up from your phone. So this was the main selling point of why I chose the Bluetooth version. Is if I'm at camp or I'm in the trailer at nighttime and I leave a light on, I can turn them off. Also, if I hear some noise or something, I could turn the lights on and light up the camp without getting out of the trailer, which is going to be nice. So I'm just cycling through the different colors. So I have the Auxbeam set up so I can add accessories later without having to rip everything apart. And I set up the fish box button to the water pump. So now I have the ability to turn on and off the water pump from my phone or from the driver's seat. I also set up the fridge on its own circuit, so you can see, toggling the button will turn on and off the fridge, which is a nice thing to have. If I'm not going to be in the vehicle, I don't have to reach around and unplug it or anything. So here's another run through of the app, just so I cycle into the colors. Super easy to use. It's easy and fast to connect, and you can hit that master power button to shut everything off at once. One of the main things I like about this panel is it lights up. So when it's dark at nighttime and I open up the back hatch, it's easy to find all the buttons. I don't have any more taped on labels, and it's just an easy thing to use. Once I get the appropriate labels, anyone will be able to turn on any of the accessories. Here's also a view of the amount of wires that I was able to take out of the back of the rig and reduce just the clusterness of what's behind that panel. So everything's a lot simpler now. Thanks for watching, guys.